After several long years of dedicated and selfless service to the Sathya Sai Values Education and Services Trust of New Zealand and the Sathya Sai Central Council as Deputy Chairperson, Uncle Muru has retired in year 2012 from both these positions. He served as a deputy to Richard Wallis, Doug Saunders, and Ravi Rudra over these years as a valuable asset with a cool head and wisdom. The Sathya Sai Organisation shall always be grateful to Uncle Muru and shall be lovingly remembered by all office bearers and members of his diplomacy, kindness, encouragement, report writing skills, for being a genuinely nice person that he will touch with Bhagwan's grace 94 years next year in heart to imagine when you see his ever youthful figure. On behalf of the Sathya Sai Organisation of New Zealand, we express our deepest gratitude and loving best wishes to Uncle Muru and lovely wife Auntie Padma. We are sure that we can still call upon Uncle Muru for advice as and when required. Before I start asking you any questions, I'd like to know about yourself, like where you're from, your education, and how you end up in this Sai land in New Zealand.
Yeah, I was born in Malaysia in April 1923. I was one of 4 siblings, and my mother died very early when I was 4 years old. And after that, there was a worldwide recession in 1929. And as a result, my father was retrenched. So my early schooling was in a place called Ipoh, which is the capital of Perak, in mining city. And I went to Anderson School, which is one of the biggest schools in Ipoh.
Is it Henderson? Is that Catholic?
Anderson School.
Is it a Catholic school? Or?
No, it's a government, or not a government-supported school, a secular school. It's not a religious school as such. And principal as an Englishman, it's an heir. So there, of course, he had classmates who were different nationalities. You had the Punjabis, you had the Indians, the Sri Lankans, the Chinese, the Malaysians, the
quite a multiracial.
It's a big conglomerate people. So very early in life, I learned to have a broader idea of people and the world, as a small boy. That we not only our own community, it's quite widespread. So from there, and my father fell ill also. So as a train, we came back to our homeland, which is a village called Surumale in Jaffna, in Sri Lanka. So there we came there and settled down in our hometown. I started going to the local college, Alpahindu College, which is just about 3 miles from my place.
How you to go by bus or?
No, I go to walking.
Walk? Oh.
There's no question of bus. In fact, I used to go by morning walking, noon coming back for lunch.
So you wear flip-flops or
Young
sandals?
boys, you're a young boy, full of energy.
Yeah.
So come back for after lunch and go back. I mean, it's quite active. And of course, I studied there. Then I sat for it till I got to the metric. Because those days we had the Cambridge Senior and the matriculation all tied up to the London University.
UK, yeah.
So I sat up for matriculation and got through that. Once I got through the matriculation, I thought best is for me to enter the university, and my father encouraged me to join the university. So I went to a place called Jaffna College. It's one of the leading institutions, not only in Sri Lanka, but in the whole of Asia at the time. It is the American Mission Organization. Very well organized, well disciplined, and teachers of high quality, in fact of international quality. And I learned a lot for the 2 years I was there. I did my first in arts there.
Oh, yes.
2 years I was there. I got to be more mature, get to know how to face the problems in life. And then I sat for the university entrance. successful. So in 1942, I think, I entered the university.
Where was this?
In Colombo, University College. Then University College, affiliated to the London University. Later it became the University of Sri Lanka. We had a first chancellor, Sir Ivor Jennings, was a constitutional expert on legal authority and was sent by the British government to assist Sri Lanka in its educational reforms and procedures. So I was there. I did my inter-school through that.
Were you in the hostel there? Or?
No, I was outside, living on my own. And then I played in the soccer. I was a member of the soccer team.
Soccer? That's interesting.
Yeah, soccer team. Then I played a lot of tennis, sports. Then I was in the I in fact contested the post of editor for the university magazine. And I came second, with the canvassing. So it was second anyway.
So what was your graduation? What you graduated in?
Then I did my history honors.
History, honors. Any particular history or just a general?
No, it was combined. It's European history, Indian history, English British history, and Sri Lankan history.
Okay.
So because only history specialized, and Dutch as a language, and
So what you did after your graduation?
I did graduate. Then I went and set for the London degree also.
Okay.
Same degree with a slightly different syllabus.
In the same university?
Yes, University College.
Okay.
That is London University.
Oh, you went to London?
No. From there you can do by
correspondence.
Yes, correspondence, and I did that university degree also, and got a honors degree there, second class honors degree in history in London. Then of course I had to seek for a job. I sat for civil service, but I missed it by 10 places. Very highly competitive exam, no? And so anyway, I got in a various number of jobs. So there is the water, almost the end of the war. And jobs were hard to come, but most of the also temporary jobs. So
when you were at the university, were you spiritual based? Were you praying for any exams or things like that? Or?
Pardon? About my background here?
Yeah.
No, I've been always interested in religion. I've been brought up in a family which are not ritualistic as such. So, shall I say, it has a societal relationship with religion. You see, not so much rituals, but understanding of religion. So I had my own understanding of religion. I read a couple of books and came to know something about my own religion, some religious devotional songs.
Oh, good. So you are in line with your religious activity plus your studies are going hand in hand.
Yes. I go to temple also.
Oh, right.
Every Friday as a matter of habit practice. We have been brought up every Friday to have back to. I lived. My house in Surmala was just about a mile from the temple.
Oh, right.
And there's a temple where people meet, boys meet. So we go there quite often. So I came to Colombo. I used to go to the Player Temple in Colombo.
So what was your first job when you graduated from?
I became an assistant food controller.
Oh, yeah.
At the time, food control was food rationing, and it was controlled. So I was food controller. I worked in that job for about 2 or 3 years. Then I joined what's called the Land Development Ministry.
Oh, yes. What were you doing there?
Development officers. They were at the time clearing big jungles for settling colonies. So I was working in the premier colonization scheme called PERAMPALAM.
Oh, yeah.
Colonization Land Development Scheme. Had about 800 laborers, about 50, 60 drivers and lorries, all these working on the farm.
Oh,
So I lived there, and more like a semi-military. It was quite
So what year was that?
1949, I think.
Okay.
49, 50. I was there for about 1.5 years. I enjoyed the work. It was very tough work. It was very tough with the people. But yet, I enjoyed the work because it gave me a whole understanding of the development of agriculture as land settlement, Then from there I joined the elections department, where they had elections every a big department.
Yes.
And I joined the elections department. And I worked in that for about 20 years in the department.
20 years?
Yes, department. Then they had an exam called the Sri Lankan Administrative Service Examination to give chances to people to get into the cream service.
Oh, yes.
The competitive one. I got into it. So that changed my whole official career.
Of course, it would
You
have.
see, completely changed. It gave a completely different dimension. And I got, fortunately for me, as a person, as permanent secretary, was an old colleague of mine who lived and worked with me in Puranarva. He was quite impressed with me then, and he continued our friendship. So he got his minister, to Philip Gunawardena, who was one of the toughest ministers. All were afraid of him. Oh, a terrible guy he was.
So what happened after that?
So he got me to join. I got into a prime position as ministry official in charge of all the public sector corporations. There were about 20 corporations. I had to coordinate their work for the ministry. Otherwise, every month we have meetings for various organizations, people coming to report monthly to them. We visit them, see how they keep, and then put cabinet papers for increasing their development funds and all that sort of thing. So I learned a lot of things, how to prepare cabinet papers, how to work with a minister. They're so impressed with me that he, after about 7 months, one day when I went to give him some papers, he said, I want you to go out.
Oh, yes.
I thought finished. That was the end of my career. Because, those days, people who were not in the favor with the ministers or government, they were put in a pool, just kept their hand, their salary paid. I thought I was going to go into the well-known thing.
So were you married by then?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yes.
In 49, when I was in the land development, I came down to, because I bought a malaria. So I came down to see my malaria to learn that I've been already registered in marriage. So my wife, who I was happy to hear, was a daughter of my old teacher and the principal of the college.
Okay.
So I knew the teacher well, but I didn't know the daughter, the children. I knew the brothers, but not very. My brother, younger brother, knew the brothers very well.
Oh, yes.
My cousins knew them very well. So it was familiar territory, So I was, of course, completely out at university and all that. So I didn't have much contact, but my brother and all go to their house, and their house was perhaps in and out.
Okay.
So for the first time I met my wife after I registered. She's a young girl at school.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, we got that way and then we registered. And then from Polnarva I came to Colombo. Then coming to Colombo, after we came there, by the time we had three children.
Yeah.
First child, of course, was three. Second was a daughter, Narayani. Third was, after a gap of about 7 years, Shiva Shankar, who is now in America. So, with these three people, then we came to Colombo. Then this minister asked me to go out a little bit. So I asked him, I don't understand you. He said, no man, you've done good work. I wanted to go abroad to learn something more. I said, where do I go? He said, that's to you. I can't go and find out. So I went and thought about it. And suddenly I was in charge of the corporation. So I thought, why not give each corporation a chance to find out the markets for the exports? And I suggested some areas which people never visited. East coast of Africa and the Middle East, some other countries in the Middle East. So I went on a 13-country tour for 3 months. And the Prime Minister was very happy. He heard about it.
So who was the Prime Minister at that time?
Dudley Seranayake.
Okay.
When the minister wrote him for permission, in fact, I had to write the letter and give it to the minister to send to the Prime Minister. So anyway, he approved, and not only he said, I will give this team diplomatic status. So they gave me a diplomatic passport, informed all the ministries, all embassies, various only that I was coming leading a mission and to give me all the due respect and all that. So when I went in, I was received very well. In fact, in Nile, a week before I went, the Diamond Sathya Sai had gone there and said, we are supporting the Arabs in Palestine. So they sent me a cable from Egypt to I was in Lebanon at the time. So Sri Lankan embassy saying that we call the Muru mission. Our government guest. So I went as guest of the government.
Oh, yes.
So I went and stayed in
a privilege, yeah.
Privilege and stayed in a place called the Palace of Khayyam.
Oh, yes.
Where it was built by the emperor, by the Caliph of Egypt for housing Empress Eugenie, who was the Empress of Napoleon III. She came to open the Suez Canal.
Oh, yes.
And for her to stay there, he had built that palace. So I was there in that place.
Is the palace still there?
Oh, yes, still there. In fact, my daughter and son-in-law have stayed there.
Oh, okay.
Now it's become a hotel,
Oh, okay.
So they said they have gone and stayed there. Because I had stayed there. Then anyway, from there we went down to Somalia, Ethiopia, Zambia, Tanzania, Mauritius.
So what made you come to New Zealand then?
Then I finished all these.
Yeah.
Then I got into the United Nations. By the time I qualified, I worked for about 8 years on a resident project in Bangladesh. And then I got into the Commonwealth Secretariat and worked as advisor to the Commonwealth Secretariat in a number of places. Then, meanwhile, my daughter had come here with her husband
New Zealand.
from Bahrain.
Oh.
So she came and my wife they left their small daughter with my wife in London. So from London, she brought the baby here. And she saw the place and she was very pleased. My daughter was asked whether she could stay back because she had got a job. She had just got a very fortunate, got a Citibank. All places, she was a highly qualified girl. So my wife agreed. So I came on a visit with Sri to see the place. And I was so fascinated by the place, taken up by it. I said, why not we make it our permanent residence? We are looking out for a place. Colombo after a restaurant, a place to live in. So we came here. That's how I came to. She came first.
Okay.
Then I came after 1987.
Okay, so that's a good background. That's how you end up in New Zealand.
Yeah.
So my first question now is, I would like to begin by asking you about your spiritual background. What were your spiritual understandings before you came in contact with Sai Baba?
Yes, as I said, I've always been brought up not in a religious family as such, but in a family which, followed the main tenets of Hinduism. A born Hindu. And so I also, on my own, try to find out something. I didn't know much, but something about my religion. Something about our saints. We had 4 saints. And the prince. And I was fortunate because I did Tamil as a language for the first in arts.
Okay.
And there we had to do some of these big religious songs, like Thiruvaranam. It's a well-known poem, over 1,000 or poems, songs. So as an outstanding classic. So I had to do those things. So I had a natural interest. I also knew life had not only material concern, it had also a spiritual facet to it. That was there in my upbringing as such. You see? And when my wife came, she also had the same feeling. She was not a religious person. She didn't go to temples and all that. But she had a feeling that life is not all just, religion and money and power and position. There's much more meaning to it. And that way, we sort of generally were more inclined on the spiritual side of it.
So when
I also read books by, Sai Sai, Paramahamsa's autobiography. That impressed me a lot. You see, that autobiography. Then I read some other books also by English authors. So it sort of helped me to the understanding of what religion and more than religion, spiritualism is.
Well, it's good to know that. So tell us about your first visit to see Sai Baba.
Yeah,
What happened on
yes.
it?
As you know very well, our first child is 3 and he had a health problem, a congenital health problem. So it was always a worry for us. My wife was more terribly worried than I was. And when we heard about Sai Baba, and so first she only,
So when was the first time you heard about Sai Baba?
somewhere in 1967, 67, 67, some relations of ours had gone to, having devotional singing groups. They are forming them, and they were there. My wife heard about it, and she was interested in singing. So she was more attracted to it because of the fact that she could have facilities for singing. So she went to the center. Initially, I didn't go. Then later, I also went to the singing center.
So where was this? Was this in
Jaffna.
Jaffna?
And then we suddenly, one day, 68, early February, we got a feeling that we must go and see Swami. And so I sent at the time I sent it, some people told me, so I sent a telegram to Kasturi saying, propose visiting Prasanti. Is Swami there? Is Swami there?
Yeah.
He says, Swami is there, come.
Oh, so he replied to you.
Yes,
okay.
Replied to my telegram.
Ah.
Swami is there, come. So we booked. So myself, my wife, Sri, and my 2 children, my Sri and my daughter, and my father-in-law. We went by January 68. At that time, I just got into the civil service also. So we went there, went by plane to Trichy, went by train to Bangalore and then to Puttapati. And went by train Bangalore to Puttapati. And there, of course, we were given a place.
So how was the road like from Bangalore to Puttapati those days?
Went by bus, didn't it? Yes,
It was quite bumpy.
Yes, bumpy and, ramshackle. But yes, you go from a country which is equally bad, this one. So we went by, but we didn't, we were quite young, For the children, were a bit inconvenience, but we had to do this. So in the end, we were going to play very early morning. Even had to pay 25 cents and get a pocket of water to wash ourselves. And Swami came, of course.
Yeah.
Usual say every morning, everything was there. First day itself, I think he called us. First day itself, he called us for an interview. And he talked to us and said, I am a person who is very worried about the things and take everything on my head. He said, don't do that. Just leave things. At the time I was young, had some big responsibilities also. So he said, don't worry that. And he manifested a medallion, which should be on one side, but Om on the other.
Yeah.
And written in Tamil, why fear when I am here? Naan irukku payamen.
Yeah.
You see? So he manifested this one and gave us sense that not to worry, he'll be all right, there's nothing wrong with him. So we had the interview and we stayed there for 2 or 3 days. 3 days. We stayed there for this.
So what was the accommodation like?
It was very rough. I think we had a mat to sleep.
Or in a shed, was it?
Not a shed, no shed, open.
Open, no?
Open air.
Oh.
Yes. Small crowd, there about 50 to 100 people,
Ah.
Early morning we have this bath and then eat also the shops. There are a few shops outside where we had our meals. We knew it was going to be very Spartan, but we quite happy with it. 3 days we stayed there and then we went a little tour of went to Tirupati temple and came back. After that, we said we thought we would be vegetarians, but as I kept my old habit, so I told my wife I'll go to the market. What is there to buy? She said, no more buying. Yes, why? I said, today we are vegetarian. So almost we started being vegetarians by the time. Yes, we sort of. I also agreed.
So what year was that?
1968.
68. Oh, okay.
So from there, then he went to Colombo in 68. And then we went to the Colombo main center. the Sathya Sai Center in Rudra in Velavat. It's a big center, We went there, and my wife was, of course, deeply involved. She started singing there. She started teaching children there. She started doing seva there. I could have the time to go, so I go for bhajans, that's all.
So, Uncle Muru, what is it about Sai Baba's teachings that appeals you most?
Well, the most important thing to me is Swami's teachings are so simple, easy to understand, of course, difficult to follow, but very, very easy to understand. And if we can concentrate, we can get a clear understanding of things. That is the most important thing as far as the teachings are concerned, because they are also universal in character. They do not confine themselves to any particular religion or to any particular sect or anything. It's universal in character, and it's also all-embracing. It embraces the whole of humanity in his teaching, not directed to one section of humanity. It embraces the whole of humanity in his teachings. So it is that force that he makes us feel that we are all one. It is that teaching, that focus that has impressed me most.
And were you able to actually practice that teachings at the same time?
In a way, you see, it's a question that it's relative. I am normally open-minded, so I'm happy that I got this ability to look out and open my mind. I'm not bound by any tradition or custom. So from this point of view, I think, and it is global age, I think Swami's teaching is the best way. And we have to understand that whether we like it or not. Understand and follow that.
Good to know that. So what is the greatest manifestation or miracle you have witnessed with Sai Baba?
The greatest miracle is that I think he has brought a transformation in every man here, person he has met. That I feel is the greatest miracle. Nothing personally, there's no the sense that all of us are trying to reform ourselves. But human nature is such that it's so difficult to reform oneself. And I think the greatest miracle he performs is he persists. He doesn't leave it as that, he persists. And he keeps on telling us repeatedly that we are divine.
Yeah, that's all general, but any particular one that you have witnessed yourself?
As a miracle, I've heard of him. I've seen him manifesting Vibhuti. That's all I think I've seen.
But the first interview that you had with Sai Baba, was anything came out of that?
Yes, he manifested and brought about a chain with this Shirdi symbol. I saw that.
Yes.
Right, and thank you for that. I saw that. The first miracle I've seen personally, but of course I've seen so many. His life is one of miracles.
As you know that Sai Baba has talked about the golden age that is to come or has already been started, and of big changes that are soon going to take place. What are your feelings about the future of the planet or the mankind on it?
See, Swami, as I said, Swami's teaching is universal. It covers the whole of humanity. And when he speaks about the golden age, he is talking of a era in human history when people, as a result of following his teachings, will be able to adhere to the path of truth, love, right conduct, peace, love, selfless love, and service as to man as service to God. That is his view of golden age when people do not fight with each other, all the troubles we have, the upheavals we have at present now are all things that are foreboding, forebode evil, but Swami is so positive in his teaching, so upbeat in his optimism that there is a golden age. Ultimately, the whole world will be turned into a place where peace and harmony prevail instead of the present disorder and disharmony is there. The golden age is that. And actually the golden age is not an age as such. It is an age when its followers and the people at large live their life of selfless service and selfless love.
So where is Prema Sai linked with this?
Prema Sai, Prema Sai, suppose, is the embodiment of Prema. And that's what Swami says. First Shri Sai, Shiva, and then he came as the embodiment of truth and Satya. And now he is Prema Sai for embodiment of Prema, where by the time he comes, Swami expects human level to be more imbued with love, pure love, divine love, selfless love, and that will be the era when, as he says, the golden age will be the age that will well prevail.
Thank you for that. So what is the greatest truth that Swami has taught you personally?
Forbearance.
What do you understand by that?
Yes, that's right. Put up with all the problems that you have. Treat them with detachment. And put up, people can be overbearing, people can be nasty to you, but still understand that and try to, even though you might react, but in the inward way, you begin to understand that forbearance, that is, being understanding, helping, cooperating, do that. That's what Swami says. Be forbearing. That's the most important thing, I think, Swami has taught us. And that, of course, means following the 5 principles.
It's quite true. After having experienced and met many of the New Zealand Sai devotees, what would your recommendation be on how the Sai centers of New Zealand should proceed?
Yes, I've been in this, with the centers I visited, I think almost every center in New Zealand. And I've talked also to peoples of various nationalities, spiritual backgrounds, and the people of various ages and things like that. Generally, they all have a feeling that Swami's teachings are universal. But the point is, we have some sections of our followers who are still strongly attached to rituals of their religion and find it difficult. They are genuinely trying, but they find it difficult to overcome that and understand. Because what is required is a deeper understanding.
The idea is to get universal
a deeper
water setting, things like that.
Swami teachings. I can understand now, you see, we all are brought, people from various parts of the world come to Prashanti because they are attracted by Swami's teaching. But we also go there. We go to centers but why can't we? Devotional singing is one of the most important things. In that singing, we are unable to bring all the various communities in New Zealand together. That to me is the greatest shortcoming in our New Zealand organization. Not only in New Zealand, it happened in Australia, in Canada, wherever there are, Indians also in these various countries. That problem doesn't arise in the European centers where they sing almost all of the Hindi budgets without any reservation. But here, I also think if we can come together together as a universal Sai community, brotherhood, to practice his teachings, understand his teachings, why can't we come together? Evolve a system of singing which can bring all the people together. Of course, this country, people are good people, but they are not interested in religion as such or spirituality as such. You see, that's also a problem. So, my problem is we must still open ourselves. Thank God now, centers, there are no pictures and all types simply
very simple,
just Swami and simple. Also, there are a lot of English songs being introduced, Mara songs which are all steps towards liberalization. Yeah.
Do you think Maoris are coming to the centers? Are they increasing or decreasing
You see,
in
they are
numbers?
more, their religion and their spirituality is more in line with spirituality generally. And they find a lot of things in Swami teachings that appeal to them.
It's the Rata philosophy, isn't it?
Yes, the philosophy. And they also, by nature, more spiritual than the Kiwis
Yes.
and the Pakehas. See? And they are less materially minded, and so they are more in line with Sai's teachings.
Which is good. So you have been involved with the Central Council in New Zealand for quite a number of years now. Can you tell us how it all began?
See, as I came here in '68, for the first 5 years, sorry, I came here in '87, the first 5 years till about '92. I was again, abroad. I was abroad, working for the Commonwealth Secretariat. So in 1992, I said, I said, no more. As I came here. Then I went to the Sai general meeting they had in Taupo. I went to that and meanwhile my wife was here and she had built a rapport with Richard and Bernard and all these people, and she was playing a big part in the Mount Eden Center. So when I came back, she was very keen that I also come to get more involved. So then Richard one day walked. By the time I come to know Richard, he just walked in this home, sat here, I sat here, brought a file, as I think we did to you.
Yeah.
He came to Hamilton. He brought a file and gave it to me and said, I want you to take over this service wing.
You were the National Service Convener.
Yes, and made me National Service Convener. All that he gave us a file, I said, empty file. And he said, you have to work your way to do it. So I had to myself do more deep study of Swami's teachings and then get to know when to met various service organizations.
At that time, which center you used to go to?
Mount Eden.
Mount Eden.
All along
Mount Eden. After that, you understand you became the national or northern regional coordinator.
National?
Northern regional coordinator.
Yes. Time there was no one else. I think Bernard was there for a time and he gave it up. So Richard said, why don't I take it up? So I took it up. And that gave me a great opportunity because I came very close to the chairpersons. I used to visit centers more frequently, organize meetings, functions. So that maybe played a very involved part. And then it went a little further when we had to send an annual report.
Oh, yes.
So Richard wanted me to do the reporting. So the centers had to send me a report. So that brought me a bigger insight.
Understanding all the centers, how they operate.
The centers, how they operate, what the outlook is, how do we reform them. So he said, give me a whole panoramic view of
how the center runs in New Zealand.
And with my background of trying to be more liberal, I also was very keen. And I met some people also who were very keen to make it, religion. So anyway, it's a very resilient organization.
I understand you also had a position as a deputy president, wasn't it?
Chairman, yeah.
Yes. So what was the involvement in there?
In 2000, I think, 2000, Arthur came and said there's a reorganization of the whole Central Council. And he reorganized that, where we had the wings continued with the two vice chairpersons, national chairperson, and one national chairperson. That was a reorganization. Earlier it was different. Now we have one chairperson, two vice chairman, two vice chairman, and the wings, the 65 wings. It happened, and then Arthur said he wanted me one deputy national chairperson in charge of all the wings. And in fact, of all the regions also. So I said, no, no, that won't be too correct.
Yeah.
The president, chairperson must be in charge of the regions. I will be in charge of the wings. So we agreed to that. So it became a chairperson in direct charge of the wing. I was in direct charge of the, chairperson was direct charge of the regions. I was in direct charge of the wings. And both of us had sort of generally worked together, coordinating the whole organization.
So what you're doing nowadays? So now you have not holding any official position.
No.
So obviously you must be going to the center. Which center do you go to
I
now?
go to Mount Eden.
Mount Eden, still Mount Eden.
No, yes, but I have withdrawn now
Ah.
very much because physically also I'm not in a mood to, not mobile as such as much.
Ah.
So thank God, Baba has still blessed me with a fairly active mind. Physically, I feel a bit strange.
You must be doing a lot of readings and.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
yes.
reading them. Because and I read the radio Sai,
Ah,
and
yes.
your Sai
Yeah.
quite regularly,
Oh, good.
and I see that and keep in touch. That's all. Really touch.
I have one final question. So if you had to sum up Swami's message in few words, what would it be?
I will put it in terms of a small verse from the Gitanjali of Rabindranath Tagore, which I always keep in memory. It says, "This is my prayer to thee, my Lord. Strike, strike at the root of penury in my heart. Give me the strength rightly to bear my joys and sorrow. Give me the strength never to disown the poor or bend my knees before insolent might. Give me the strength to raise my mind high above daily trifles, and give me the strength to surrender my will to thy will with love." It covers every aspect of Swami.
Of course, it does.
Equanimity, your surrender, love, teaching, treating all these incidents as trifles, and to bear both with fortitude and strength. Summarize Swami's teaching beautifully by Tagore in this line verse. That is how I understand Swami. Of course, yes, he says there's only one religion of love. We must practice clear understanding of that. One language of the heart, one caste, the heart of humanity, and one God, the omnipresent.
Thank you, Muru. Thank you, Uncle Muru, for giving us the opportunity for this interview. Sarah.